Hey there, YouTube. Good morning. It's been a little while since we've had a video. A lot of things been going on, just haven't been able to work on much. Today we're working on this old girl. Now, for y'all that have watched the previous video, I worked on basically this one's sister. She has had a blowout and has caused some damage, and we are going to try to do the best we can by fixing this. I'm going to put a piece of patch over there, a couple of screws in here to try to fix that. Other than that, I did go around and I checked these screws, and though they look like they're loose, they are not. This trailer's actually been a little bit better designed than its sisters. I'm actually, I have to say, I am impressed with this one. A little bit better conditioned. Are going to keep an eye on a few things, check a few things out. This one shouldn't be a very big, extensive, repair. We did get two fenders, so we are going to replace both of them. It doesn't need both of them, but this one over here does have a little damage. Not major, nothing major at all, but it was cheaper, well, almost cheaper, to buy two fenders and keep this one as a spare than it was to do anything else. Another one of the main things we are going to take care of is we are going to grease the bearings on this thing. So what this trailer is used for, oh yeah, we're going to address that. That ain't going to work. While we have it off, we'll check to make sure that, yeah, I guess that's going to be okay. Yeah, we'll put some bolts in that. Make sure all the lights are working. Again, I have gone through here. All these bolts are good and tight. This trailer is used for peddling health food. And by peddling health food, I mean, yeah. I did come in here and I've kind of messed around the floor just a little bit. Again, this trailer seems to be a lot better constructed trailer than its sister. I did check stuff like this to make sure that they're good and tight, and at this moment they are. The owner of this trailer, not the guy that pulls it, the owner wants them to service them every 6 months. So she's due for a 6-month service. So let's get her unlocked, get some pickups out of the driveway and hook onto her, and actually get some work done on it and see what we can't get accomplished. I want to get it done as quick as possible without cutting corners. I do believe we're going to try to work on the old 78 today. Just been the longest one takes. So we'll bring you back after we get hooked up. All right, so now we got her back in the driveway. And if you want to comment about how crooked of a back job I did, I have no idea how to back a trailer into any kind of tight areas at all. So just saying, it's crooked because I didn't want to keep the pickup far enough out of the street and not have to worry about getting hit. And I was hoping to be able to still open this door up if I have to get in there, because part of me thinks we're going to have to pull, possibly, I don't know, pull part of this paneling on the inside out. To see this wire in here, feller's going to need to get to that. I'm pretty sure that white wire is going to have to come out. So we'll address that here in a little bit. My next plan is the new fenders that are right in here. And yes, I do know my garage is, yeah, I need to go through here and throw away a bunch of junk. The problem is everything's good junk. So there's our new fenders, new lights, 2 of them. So what I could do is I could just go right back in with these self-tapping screws, but I don't want to do that. Sorry about my fingers. I believe it will be better put one of those zerts in there that you can bolt into and put some blue Loctite on it. So that may be what we do. Now I will tell you that that one side's black wheeled, this one's got a white wheel, and that I really want them to match. But with all the stuff going on, that old black or blue pickup of mine, the old 78, I don't think I have any black paint to make a match. So sorry. And it's a bombing 34 degrees outside, so I don't think the paint will really want to dry. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds, because this wheel is, I'm going to take this wheel, I'm going to bring my jack out here and take this wheel off, because it'll make life a little easier. Downside is all my impacts and everything are out there at the place, the barn where my other pickup is. I do have a small compressor that I believe will be enough to run the pneumatic grease gun to pack these bearings. So we'll probably do that, but unfortunately my laziness is going to have to be put aside, and we're going to have to use an actual 4-way. So I'm going to get y'all put up on the old stand over there and try to get everything aimed, and hopefully we don't get my finger in. Oh, look at there. We are missing a screw. Good night. Sell the trailer. She's worn out. I have more. Anyways, we'll get you guys put on that. Put it in the fast. It's been so long since I've recorded one. I can't remember what that's called anymore. Anyways, we'll try to get the bolt nut or the head of that screw that's always in every one of my videos not in there this time, and we'll get everything and get it going. Oof. DeMay. Oh, those. Oh, they're not. I thought those were scratches, and I was like, good night. They're not. Or cracks. They're not. They're scratches in the paint, which is really odd. Wonder how that happened. Oh, no, it's tar. That's what it is. Oh, man. Oh, my good gloves, too. All right, let's get this going. All right. So now, let's get y'all in there and look at this. Of course, I'm pretty sure I was in the way the entire time I did what little bit I did. So, yeah, I think we'll be able to work with that. I'm going to put y'all back on time lapse, and I'm going to pull that screw out, this screw out, try to get the wires out, figure out what I'm going to use to patch that right there. I'm pretty sure what's ended up happening with that is probably going to be just a piece of square metal, silicone, and pop riveted on there. Anytime you're pulling it in the rain, it's going to splash water up on the fender and down inside there, and I don't want that. That wouldn't be good. So put y'all back on time lapse and figure out how we're going to do all that right there for sure. All right, well, now I'm not sure what to do with that right there. I mean, I can put a patch over it, it'll look terrible. And that may still be the best way to do it. Put some silicone around it and put it on there. We'll need to put some on that too. Was a good thing though, I was able to get both wires out of there. Right now, I'm going to go and pull out my little zerts and prep the fender a little bit, and we'll bring you back. All right, YouTube, so obviously they're just a little bit different. They're not perfect because they're not the factory, but they are pretty close. They will be just fine. Now I'm gonna have to put the zerts in here, and I'm gonna have to go buy new bolts for the zerts because I want to put grade 8 because I don't want them to be busting off or anything. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mock it up, drill them out, and hang them up there with just some temp bolts just long enough to make sure that they're gonna, you know, sit right and sit centered and everything. And then we'll go up there and buy new bolts. But while we're doing that, what I'm thinking, I think I'm just gonna get some JB Weld, and I think I'm gonna clean this really good, and I'm just gonna JB Weld over it. I kept thinking about putting plates in there, but the problem with putting plates on is I'm afraid that those rivets will start cracking out and everything, because these things are known to do that. But either way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these holes going straight up and down, pencil really good. That way I know exactly where they are. Then I can drill them, put the fittings on there. Then I will transfer the marks to this, be able to drill in there and make sure that everything's sitting right. I don't think it's going to be a horrible job to do. Definitely probably don't want to do this again, but hey, it is what it is. The thing is that he had a blowout, but he didn't have very many miles on those tires. So it was just a freak accident kind of thing. This trailer's not that old. Like I said, they want it serviced every 6 months, and I'm servicing today, and I think I'm just a little over where they normally go, but because of the way the weekends and everything were falling and weather and my time off, we didn't get any. We weren't able to get it done like we normally would. So we're not maybe a week, 2 weeks overdue, give or take. So let's go get a straight edge. We'll start putting some pencil marks on there and everything. My kids decided to come out and play, but so there it is, the mock-up of it after it's on there. Elias. It's not on the ground yet. The littlest one had an accident on his trike, so I turned the camera off. Forgot to get the last one that was putting in there, the last bolt. Now again, this isn't fully tightened on there. As you can see, there's a gap there. Well, when you have a blowout, it sure warps this thing pretty bad. My wife's not here, so I haven't got the grade A bolts yet. But they'll be coming here pretty quick. Yeah, boy, that blowout sure warped it. But while I'm waiting, I will go ahead and wire the light in. So that'll be next thing. We'll get the light out and get it put on there and wire it in. All right, so here's the new lights. Now, you can't see it. They're really hard to see, but if you look inside, that's my littlest. I'm on the video, baby. See that orange light? That means it's going to flash orange. The one's orange, and this one right here doesn't show it, but it's red. So this will be for the other side, because amber goes forward, red to the back. So now you have to trim these down, and I've pretty much decided that I would like this basically on the other side, about right there. I think that'd be the best. I could bring it in a little bit. Nah, how about right there? So that means we're gonna have to trim it just behind here. So I'm gonna get my little saw out and I'm gonna saw that off and then mark the holes, drill through there. I'm gonna use little bolts. They use self-tapping screws, but I mean, this is, yeah, we're not gonna do that. So that'll be the next thing. And I'll probably go ahead and just trim them both just to get it done, because they're gonna be the same length either way. So let's get this kind of measured out. Yeah, I think right about there, cutting it, and that'll put it. I mean, if you can imagine this on the other side. The factory ones are closer to the inside, but I don't think any reason why we can't. You know, even if we mount it that far, I think it'll be just fine. Now, it does have holes here. I just haven't decided if I want to try to use them or not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because I think you can actually screw this down. I think this pops out. So you can screw it down and then this snaps back over it so it covers it. We may do that. We'll just see, because I don't want this to break. This fit break, well, that come right out. So, all right. Enough talking. Let's get to working. Sorry for the angles of the camera. I'm still new at this. So there we go. Got them shortened down. Now again, if we wanted them shorter, we could cut them off here, but I think this will be just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this set just right, and then we're going to mark it and drill it. And my wife did get home, so I'm fixing to get bolts. But I figured I'd do this first. I'll mark these out and drill them, and then I'm going to put a mark back here, because we're going to have to drill a hole somewhere right in here for the wires to run down. And we'll make sure we put something in there to keep them from rubbing. Anyways, let me get this marked. I'll put y'all on time lapse, and we'll get this marked and drilled. All right. Don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of it that way in the first place. Set this on there. Got where I wanted to, marked it, drilled it. Set this on there, marked it, drilled it. They are just hand tight because I'm fixing to pull this off. We're fixing to get the big bolts, or the grade A bolts. Then we'll try to push it on here. This gap is just something I don't know. We'll see what happens whenever we get it tightened up. it might pull it in because there is a gap down there, but that blowout, it is warped. It just warped everything right there pretty bad. Now these are polar. You can't just hook. The red should be the positive and the white is the ground, because I did test them to make sure they worked. And the trailer should be white ground and brown positive. But before you just hook everything up and tighten it up really good and make it all pretty, you want to check first. I am not going to wire them up quite yet. The last thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't think guys really care. I'm going to go ahead and mark that, so when I pull, so when I pull it off, it'll be ready for me to put, drill the hole for the wires to go through. And I have some, there it is, some wire loom, and we'll put some wire loom around it all the way and go inside a little bit. That wire's a little bit long, and same with the wire down there, but I think if we wire loom it and just be real nice and easy and push that back inside, that little knot there back inside like it was before, we might be okay. I don't know quite yet, because obviously I don't want it to catch on the tire and cause any issues, but also I don't know where to, you got to keep it short enough to not have any issues. We may move the knot out a little bit or something. But anywho, like I said, I'm not gonna film me marking that. Probably won't even film me drilling it. Now, just in case if you guys are wondering about these bolts, so this thing is designed to have, this thing is designed to put on different applications. So some trailers, they have it down here where just like poles coming out, you put U-bolts. It did come with these bolts, so you can put them in there to cover them up. Not really impressed by it because the washers don't even fit, but hey, it is what it is. I'm sure it'll be fine next time it comes in. It did have nylon washers. So next time it comes in, we'll, for service, we'll make sure they're still tight. I know it looks like it's sticking out a little bit, and it might just a smidgen, but it's not bolted on, so it still weighs. I just have it sitting up there. And I was right, I don't have any black paint, so she'll stay white. Oh well, it'll be okay. Maybe next time, if the owner wants to buy some black paint, I'll paint them black. But anywho, what'll be 30 minutes or so for me, it'll be about 10 seconds to y'all. So, all right, YouTube, this is bolted up. It didn't pull it in as far as I was hoping it would. There's still a pretty decent gap, but I mean, it got damaged pretty bad. It is strong, it is sturdy. I did grease the bearings already. The only reason why I didn't record it is because, one, it's just hooking a grease gun up, and two, it took forever to get my grease gun to start working, because you know how those things are. So the only thing left to do is put the wheel on it, tighten it up, and it's done. Got that all wired up. Got the JB weld on there and got that all wired up. I'm probably going to put some silicone on that right there. Not probably, I'm going to, but don't need to record it. Light does work. In fact, I bet. There you go. Amber in the front, red in the rear. So, YouTube, that's all I got for today. I'm not going to film me doing the other side because you guys can care less about that, right? You already saw me do this one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And for y'all that are here for the truck, it's coming back pretty quick. We're going to get the parts for it. Well, we got the parts for it, and it's been kind of cold and some things have taken place, but we'll be back on it.